Hi, Stephen.
Hello, how's everybody today?
Good.
So we are live on YouTube. It's 12 o'clock. You have regrets from Alicia. And anytime you want to start, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting for Wednesday, September 15th at the Historic Sites Board. Does anyone have any conflict of interest with our agenda today? None noted. Okay, we need a mover to adopt our agenda for today.
I'll adopt the agenda, Sandra.
Sandra, and a seconder. Stephen. Resolved that the agenda for the Historic Sites Board meeting for September 15, 2021, as presented, be approved. All in favor? Carried. Adoption of the meeting, and this is for July 14th, 2021. We need a mover. Jamie, and a seconder.
I'll second.
David, thank you. Resolved that the minutes of the Historic Sites Board meeting of July 14th, 2021 be approved. All in favor? Carried. Next on the agenda, business arising.
I don't think we have anything arising from the last the last meeting. We will be getting to a lot of the same things on the curator's report. So,
Okay, so we'll go on to talk about the accounts.
the financial statements were put in your package. And I updated it because our system is like a month or two behind. So I went into the detailed one to give you more of an update of where we actually stand at sort of mid-August. And as you can see, we're, because of COVID, not bringing in a lot of revenues. Our expenses are also down because we're watching what we do. And we still have people on less hours than usual because we're only open Tuesday to Saturdays. Was there any questions on the financial statements?
No questions or comments? Okay, mover to accept the year-to-date financial statements of August 24th. Sandra? And a seconder, Stephen? Resolved that the Historic Sites Board approve the expenditures year-to-date August 24th, 2021. All in favor? Carried. And now we have the curator's report. Kathy?
Yeah. So since we last met, we had our blueberry event and we served out on the front lawn under the big tent with COVID restrictions and time ticketed so that we would only have so many people here at once. And we did the tea with the desserts, and then we did blueberry pancakes as well. And we sold out, had a waiting list because of the fact that we had to do it with the restrictions and have it time ticketed. And then we didn't have anything until we had an art show last week. And we had a lot of response to that. About 85 people per day over the 3 days came through the art show, and it was a Métis and Indigenous show with funding from the Ontario Arts Council. And then we are now, I'm going to share the poster that I just sent to everybody. So if I go to, sorry, I meant to also put up the agenda. I just sent out a poster, and go back. No, I can't even get you back. Hold on. Okay, share screen. There. So the next week is sort of our first kind of big event this season, due to the fact of COVID and our precautions. So we have to pray for sunshine, because as much as possible, it will be spaced out on the property. And we'll bring the cannon out again. So at 11 and 2, as you can see, that cannon will fire. So brace yourself at those times of the day. We always notify the sleep in and the bush plane and everybody that the cannon will be firing. Our local reenactors will be doing all of these, and we have the Healing Lodge singers joining us, and we also have Newton Shawanda from the he was doing presentations with Great Lakes Cultural Camps, and he is joining us on Saturday. And so we will be having presentations for the 4 days. And in your email, I noted that we have sent this to the schools, and Wednesday and Thursday during school days, we're going to attempt for those classes that want to join us virtually. We will live stream from these sessions. So I'll be out there with the cell phone trying to capture the moment. And then we'll do a follow-up part 2 on this event to the schools again in October. And we have a lot of pre-recorded content that we did last year. Plus we're going to have some more, like for Saturday, we're going to record Newton so that we can have all that pre-recorded available to discuss with them in October when we go back to the schools. So it's, we're really excited. Hopefully we'll have people come, and we still have to do COVID restrictions. So people will have to sign the COVID forms and do active assessment and screening. But as long as it stays nice, we can space everyone out on the front lawn, because it's a lot easier than indoors. So keeping our capacity at 50%. So the Friends of are the hosts actually, and they received funding from Building Communities Through Arts and Heritage, and through local festivals, and they get this funding every year. So yeah, we're going to try our first sort of big event. So we're very excited about that. And we just are playing daily operations, day by day, as we see how the province and the municipality show us how to navigate still. And so we have things planned, but we just sort of take it day by day, and a lot of it's last minute that we're able to do our programming and events. The schools are having a hard time getting up and running right at this moment too. That's why we're going back to them in October as well, because they're just not quite ready. Some may join us next week and some may not. So that's sort of a report. If you've noticed, we still have no construction underway. I'm trying to just get some answers from the municipality, and so that we can see what that looks like, or when the start date may happen. And because I think they've even gone out for tender for the windows, or so the project does have to happen. As we know, the flooding in the basement has to be fixed, and the windows and the chimneys as well. So, and before we can move on to next year's project, which is the roof. So it's probably a 2 to 3 year restoration project for both buildings.
I have a question. It was going back to the events on the 22nd. Is that the day that will you be having guests go through the house or in the building? Or is it all strictly outdoors?
So for the festival, Wednesday to Saturday next week, we are hoping with nice weather that those presentations will be outdoors on the front lawn.
Okay, because I think that's the first day that they implement. You need to show that you have double vaccination to enter in some of the buildings.
So yeah, we're also waiting on the further instruction on that. So how we're going to go through that verification process. But as I said, if we can keep a lot of it outside, we will, which allows us a little more leniency on how we do things. So
with all it, so the construction, has it started inside? Like, is it looking good for tourists to go through?
So currently, people have been going through, but the exhibits in the Old Stone House are down. They have been down all summer because we were anticipating the start of construction, and you can't have a backhoe dig and hitting the walls of the Old Stone House when we had paintings on the walls and grandfather clocks standing there and things like that. So we did take down the exhibits in 1st of July, and they have been down all summer. So I'm waiting for instruction to find out if this is moving forward, and if not, can we put the exhibits back up? The nice thing is we have been doing a lot of one-on-one interpretation and communication with our visitors, and they've been using the audio ones, which give them 24 stations to listen to. We put up some extra pictures on podium type exhibit text to show them what the rooms look like set up. And they're still taking in the theater movie, the 1812 gallery, the blockhouse, the yards. It's just indoors. They can walk through, but the furniture is all covered in sheets. So the sooner we can get those uncovered, the better. And so we can keep up with our visitors and move on with events. So it's just getting those answers then.
So when, for the basement, can that be done throughout the winter months once frost hits to dig around the building?
I wouldn't think so. That's just my common sense.
That's mine too. So when does this, when did we get this funding? Approval for it?
It was approved through the province, through rural economic development, and the city, of course. So that originally came through in 2020, the beginning of 2020. So it was actually supposed to occur in 2020, but with the full shutdown, it didn't. And so we did apply for an amendment to look at doing it this year. And now with COVID again, and then also there's been some we have had some delays in the actual start because we have things like an archaeologist ready now, which we didn't have in the summer. So there's a few glitches that have happened, but I'm hoping that they dig before frost.
Cutting it close.
I know.
Okay, just a little question for clarification. So we're not actually managing this project at all? Somebody else is dealing with the contractor?
So
Is this why we're not getting really good, clear answers on this?
So the project is being managed by senior management because it's at a level beyond what I can approve. And we as in all of us here today, the board and the staff have also an engineering firm who is sort of the middleman. So Pynchon is our engineering firm. And so the city senior management work with Pynchon, and Pynchon coordinates the contractors and all the services, and will oversee the project. So that's sort of the hierarchy of the project. So there's a lot of people involved.
Are you able to get an update of where we're at? Because
Yeah,
with
I
the
did.
COVID lockdowns, there was no lockdown on construction, not in the recent one.
I have requested again today. I had hoped that Brent and Virginia would be in on the call to answer some of these questions. So I did also give them a series of questions to prepare for today. Maybe that's why they're not on the call. They're trying to get the answers for us. So as soon as I get some firm answers, I will advise each of you on how we're moving forward.
And the legal agreement you have now with the province, when does that end?
The amendment was only until the year end, which is the city's year end. I think that's why it was chosen, but thinking that we could probably get the work done this summer. Now, I know that the province works on a fiscal to the end of March, so we might be able to look at definite push to then. But again, the only part of the project that we really need to take care of before frost is the foundation work. The others can go through the winter months. So
currently the agreement is till December 31st.
I believe so. I'm just looking.
What's the amount again for this funding?
The province is doing about 95,000. It's a 1/3 of the overall.
And then the city covers 2/3?
Yes. I do know it's about a 300,000 project at this.
It's a significant project.
Yeah. And then we already have approval from capital asset management for the roof. And so that we can start to look in the future for those projects. So I'm hoping I can provide you an update soon, because we'd like to know here how to carry on with business and to keep moving forward on and to get this done before we really get a lot of rain. Jamie sent me a notice asking how much rain was falling in the hole that they had dug, and I said, well, the hole's not dug yet. So we will get some answers and find out so we can move forward.
Sandra?
Yeah. Thank you. I feel for you, Kathy. I really do. I know you're going to be digging for some answers. Just out of curiosity, when you get those answers, do you mind sending us an email? I'm sure you'll get some answers before our next meeting. And if there's anything I can do, let me know. I'm just concerned that I know that the trades that you need are very specialists, but I know the trades around our community are just swamped with many projects. So I'm wondering if that could be the reason for one of the delays. But anyway, go Tiger, go. So I actually do have a question. I was just driving by the building and the front lawn entrance. Do you have some supports there? Did I see some large 2x4s supporting up the back?
So the construction company did come on site to get started. And of course we had to stop them from moving forward because there was a number of things we had to still take care of. And so they were shoring up the roof of the portico, the front porch, so that they can take the pillars off and dismantle the front steps one by one, numbering and photographing, because they need to be fixed, and that's part of the project. However, it's the last step after digging all the way around for the foundation. So by removing those first and then doing the foundation work and getting in around the foundation under those stairs, and then when they get replaced, they'll be put back together properly and fixed. Because right now they're all heaved and the posts are rotting, and so that was all part of the contract.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. They call those beams holding up the roof shoring. Shoring up the roof.
I'm sure you get nervous every time you walk through there and look up. Well, thank you, Kathy. You're always doing a great job. And if you don't mind, one last question. Going back to the finances, did we see increase in the store, the retail store, increased traffic and so forth?
It's very slow tourism-wise. We've tried to promote even when the downtown was doing some sidewalk sales. I mean, yes, we're getting some sales, but it's not like it was. And we do have a tour train that's sold out at 50% capacity. So when the tour train starts next weekend, let's hope that traffic flow also comes through our city and to our attractions.
Good.
Do they still offer the 4 Culture Pass as part of the tourism package?
It's not being sold by Tourism Sault Ste. Marie. In fact, tourism has gotten out of the business of selling any package.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
But we are on their website. There is a 4 Culture Pass, and people can download it and bring it in to get discount on admission. Okay. And that's also, we also did that with Attractions Ontario.
Yep.
So, but that sort of 4 Culture Pass and coupon is with our local tourism and also with Attractions Ontario. And we have the pass at each of the 4 sites, and we're doing the same thing. We're asking if people are going around to see the others, and if they are, to take the passport, and they get a discount on admission. So.
Okay. Thanks.
It's same but different.
It was nice when someone else managed it, I bet.
Yeah, but this way also it puts an admission in each of our budgets and through our cash registers, and we don't have to do and Tourism Sault Ste. Marie doesn't have to do the banking or the accounting for it. So yeah, I think it simplified it for everybody.
Nice, nice. Thanks.
So
Thanks,
that's
Kathy.
all I have right at the moment as an update. We had, just to finish off, we had some fantastic students on board this summer who did a lot of digitization. They've digitized artifacts. They have been doing some of our social media and created if you've been on Facebook and Instagram, they did Throwback Thursdays and Trivia Tuesdays, and all pertaining to the artifacts and the history of the site. So we have one of those young people still on board part-time, and they're carrying on with some of that work. So that's nice to see that we're not going to have a break in that, because I can do it, but I'm not as great as the students on that social media stuff. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Next on the agenda is Municipal Heritage Committee. Do you have information for us to report? Jamie?
I brought up the agenda on my screen because we did have a meeting a week ago, and the committee did approve the foundation work and chimney and whatnot for the Old Stone House, and then they had a second motion where they approved the restoration of the windows of the Old Stone House, and so they just passed a couple of motions to keep this project, approved and moving forward. We'll be doing property inspections next week, so that's where we go around the properties that are designated in the city, and we do in the three. There's probably 4 of us that are part of that group, and we'll go around on Wednesday, or if it's raining, we'll go around on Friday. There's still work ongoing with the other subcommittees, but the main activity for September will be the property inspections. Does anybody have any questions?
How
Kathy?
are the calendar sales going? I mean, we're selling them daily.
I know, I forgot to mention that. We last Wednesday. Oh, do I have my number? Oh yeah, here we go. A week ago, there were 152 that are sold. And the main people selling are the Old Stone House and the Voyageur Lodge up on Highway 17 North. Oh, and the library is doing very well. The library and the trading post are doing the Ermichinger trading post are the 2 best locations.
Thanks, Jamie. Any questions or comments? Moving on to new business.
Yes, under new business 9.1. So this is on here for, I think actually we're a step behind. I think it went to council on Monday. Just for timing purposes also, but the Historic Sites Board needs to review this. We have an opportunity, as we did last year, to receive MAPS. MAP stands for Museum Assistance Program with Canadian Heritage. And we have, they have a reopening fund available, which provides 10% of the operating budget in COVID relief funding. We did get it last year, and so we are looking to apply again this year. So it's basically, I believe council approved it, so I'm waiting for that resolution, but we also need one from the Historic Sites Board to authorize the submission of the application.
How much did you receive last year or hoping to receive this year?
Well, last year we did get the full 10%. That's the max they will fund, is 10% of your expenses. And again, that's what we will be applying for and qualify for. So
Okay.
the sooner we get it in, let's hope we are, you know, the faster ones get approved first. So the application is done and on the portal, the Canadian Heritage portal. So it's just a matter of attaching resolutions and doing our final check.
Is there a deadline for this or?
No, but I do know that, again, it's those that come in first will be reviewed first. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we need a mover to approve for this COVID reopening fund to go ahead with the application. Jamie? And someone to second? Stephen? Resolved that the Historic Sites Board authorize city staff to submit an application to the MAP COVID Reopening Fund be approved. All in favor? Carried. And before we adjourn, is there any other information you want to bring forward or any questions? Sandra?
Just out of curiosity, I always look at, you know, our surrounding historical sites and see how they're doing, especially St. Joseph Island, our fort. And I know sometimes, Kathy, you'll give us one or two updates on what's happening down there. Maybe at our next meeting, can you talk to us about the historical fort down on St. Joseph Island? Granted, I know COVID made a huge impact on them, but I'm just wondering what their plans are for the future and if there's any, you know, just an update.
That's an excellent idea,
I
Sandra.
can do that. And just to give a plug in, now you're going to catch me right off guard, but it's an anniversary for the fort. Is it 225 or something?
Wow.
So they've been really promoting this summer. We lent them a Sutler Wedge tent, which is one of our historical tents that opens up with a fly. So they could do their COVID screening right at the parking lot. And I don't think they had their visitor center open, but they did have the gift shop and of course out in the ruins of the fort. They did a lot of demonstrations and things right out there this summer and I did see a lot of promotion. So I will be interested to see how they did this summer and yes, what the plans are for moving forward. I know the Canal didn't get their visitor center, the trailer. They haven't even reopened the new visitor center yet, just due to COVID precautions and the way things have gone the last 2 years. So, but Fort St. Joseph is more open space. So yes, I'll find out for us.
Okay.
I've been
Thank
trying
you.
to share some of their information for people to get out and get down there.
Good. And I'm curious, are they doing their haunted trail again, close to Halloween? Did they do in the past some type of family haunted event?
Yeah, it was usually either August or September.
Oh,
And no, they're not this year.
okay. Yeah, I kind of figured
And
that.
in the past, we've partnered and we've hired buses to do a road trip from here where we would serve appetizers and have some of our reenactors begin the day. And then it was like a 12-hour trip, but people did it and loved it. And they went for dinner on the island and then they went on the ghost walk at the fort and then we bussed them back. So there's been those kinds of partnerships. It'd be nice in the future if we can all get back to normal and offer these kinds of opportunities.
For sure. So, thank you.
Just on that, we've also had Parks Canada join us at Blueberry Fest a couple years ago, and we did a whiskey tasting. I think it was whiskey, and the guys from Signal Hill in Newfoundland came and presented it. So that was really fun. So there are great partnerships with Parks Canada. So yeah, we just have to wait and see what we can do.
Good. Anything to do with whiskey is always attractive.
I was involved with that, just to clarify, it was rum, and they had a distillery sponsoring it, or it would never have been possible. And yeah, it was a great event.
Who sponsored it? I didn't hear you.
I would name the company, but I can't remember which one exactly.
Oh, okay.
It was a distillery.
Yeah.
Who makes rum?
I think that's all.
That's it. Okay, our next meeting is October 13th. Zoom, I'm thinking.
Right at this point, unless we hear otherwise, I'd really like to have you come to the site and we could get back to normal and have a bowl of soup or something. But because this is a board of council, and until we hear otherwise, how the committees of council are to go through. Ours is small, so I begged, because I said, we even have a tent up on the front lawn. We could sit out there, but anyways, maybe next time.
Thanks, Kathy. We need a mover to adjourn. Charlotte, and a seconder. Stephen. Resolve that the committee now adjourn. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Savannah. Thank you, Kathy.
And my apologies for being late.
No,